Hello, friends. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Aaronica from Aaronica B. Cole & Co., where the & Co. sometimes features my family. But over here, I center plus-size bodies in sewing and pretty much in everything. Why? Because we deserve a little corner of the internet where we are celebrated. Now, today, I'm super excited because this is a video that on my last video, y'all were like, we're already ready for it. So let's get into it. And if you're like, what is it? Tell me. We're going to be talking about the fall and winter indie drops for sewing patterns that are size inclusive. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, before we go ahead and start, let me remind you that I'm the person who does all of the editing, everything like that for my videos as of right now. Maybe like once y'all make me big, you know what I mean, and share and get more subscribers and watch my videos and stuff like that, I can pay for someone to do this for me. But until then, it's all on your girl. So sometimes the videos become a little too overrun for me to go ahead and add images. Please don't take it as me not wanting to share information with you all or me gatekeeping in some kind of way. Just take it as she's a mom of three who's kind of doing this on her own. Anyway, there were quite a few size inclusive drops from our indie pattern designers for the fall. Now, when I say fall, I'm going to be starting from essentially not November, but September 1st. And even though I know fall did not kick in until September 21st, but we're going to start all the way back there. And then we're going to come forward to where we are in present day. And that is, of course, for November. Now, I intentionally pushed this back because I really wanted to make sure that I included a couple of specific patterns that I knew were in testing that were size inclusive. And so in doing that, I'm able to include those in this here video right now, which I'm really excited about. Now, also, I'm going to make sure that the pictures are included, but this is going to be pretty fast. Why? Because there's a lot of patterns that we have to get through, and I don't want to lose you guys as we go through them. So this is not going to be a long time. We are here for a good time, not a long time, okay? This is going to be in order of date that it dropped as opposed to it being in order of like only shirts or only jackets or only skirts, okay? So I don't want you all to think that I'm just going to kind of congregate them that way. That is not what I'm doing. I am making it easier on myself, so therefore, yeah. And also, please make sure that you note that these are size inclusive pattern drops. I know that there are a lot more patterns that have dropped that lack the inclusivity. And so by size inclusive, I mean that the bust has to go up to like the 50s, 60s. The hips at the bare minimum have to go up to 60 in order for them to kind of make it on this list. And the reason why is because, listen, standard size, they get all of the pattern drops, they get everything. In fact, some pattern designers try to hide behind the fact that they are not actually size inclusive by saying that like a 45-inch hip is like a 6X. Babe, you're not included on this list. Not because 6X isn't size inclusive, but because that 45-inch hip is not inclusive. Me at my smallest as an adult is a 45-inch hip, okay? Not inclusive, all right? So with that, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we're kicking things off with my babes over at Seamark. Seamark in September dropped the Sage top and the Meadow blouse. Both of them are giving us very Prince team blouse effects. We've got the Sage top up here first, which has a button down V-neck with a bishop sleeve. Very cute, if that's your style. Then, of course, there is the Meadow blouse, and we're seeing here how they have included a more, and I don't want to say it's modern day, but a lot of the designers are giving us a more dramatic neckline. And by a more dramatic neckline, I do mean a more dramatic collar. We're seeing a lot more of what I like to call clown chic because it does give that clown kind of collar, but it looks really cute. So that is the Meadow blouse. Both of these blouses have been designed for woven fabrics, okay? Next, we've got a release from Cashmerette in the Kenwin t-shirt. And this was released only to the club subscribers. Now, if you look at this t-shirt and it sells you on the club, I say go for it, right? Because look, I love cashmere. I love that they are size inclusive. I love that they are coming out with designs that are also some really high quality basics. I love the Kenwood t-shirt. It does feature a little like V-neck in the back. And listen, one thing about me is I'm gonna always make sure that that back of me is looking good, because when I walk away, I want y'all to be like, damn, I wish she would turn back around. But that view from her from behind, that shit is nice too, okay? And I love a little dramatic back situation that gives something a little bit different, and that's what that Kenwood t-shirt does. Now, moving on to the slate skirt by Closet Core. This is a also another release that is exclusive for their club. Closet Core has actually had a couple of releases for their club that have been like, do I need to join? I might need to join. But the slate skirt is very cute. It is a basic woven skirt. It's got an A-line shape, and then it has very big patch pockets on the side, as we can see here. Very, very beautiful. You can use a lot of different fabrics for it. I can definitely see this being made in like a suede type of deal and worn with like some knee-high boots, or maybe some thigh high boots, because the front does feature a slit. And you know, we love a slit over here. So love that for us. Now, Style Arc also released the Springfield coat, and it's a cocoon style coat, and I'm in love. This, hands down, one of my favorite jackets that I've seen being released this season that is size inclusive. I'm ready to make the purchase and make the jacket myself. It features three different or rather two different lengths and a couple of different options. You've got the longer length that kind of is a midi length, and then you've got the shorter crop length, but both of them do have that dolman style or that cocoon style shape, and I love it. Okay. Now, Itch to Stitch, I've actually never made any of her patterns, but I've seen some people make some cute things. And she released the Madalena vest. Vests are very in this season. And I love it because I made my first vest. Now, if you guys remember when I talked about New Pattern November, I said one of the first patterns that I wanted to do was a vest. I did not do the Just Patterns vest. I did the Auto vest from Seamwork. And vests are very easy, friends. Very fast, very easy sews. So get into that Madalena vest top. Um, then we have Sew Over It with the Carly dress. Now, the Carly dress is very, very cute. It's actually kind of like a polo dress as well as a polo shirt for women. And obviously can be worn by anybody, but it's definitely going to give you more of that fitted top. It looks like the ease is probably at a 0 because it doesn't look like it is too fitted to have negative ease, but it's definitely drafted for a knit fabric. Then coming in with a cute little coordinated set is the Matchy Matchy Sewing Club with the High Tide set. I do kind of feel like for the US, our time may have passed for this pattern, unless, of course, you're in the hotter states that never get cold, like Florida, Arizona, that sort of thing, because it features these really cute shorts. They're pull-on shorts, but they have a front pleat, which is really cute. I do feel like you can extend it and make it a very cute pant. And then it has a button-up shirt that features, you can either do a button front or no button. And then, of course, it does have that very nice feature as far as a collar goes. Then Sinclair Patterns, shout out to Sinclair Patterns. And it's like, why are we shouting out Sinclair Patterns? I actually coached the owner of Sinclair Patterns on her business. And also, I really love that designs for a more modest woman as well as men. So she came out with the Shelly top and dress, and it is a very, very cute dress. It does feature a button top that goes into a gathered skirt. You do also have the option to add a kind of like a little tie to make it more fitted in the top, so it has more of that fit and flare feel. As far as the skirt goes, it does have a curved hem. Very, very cute. Love it. I'm not going to lie, this next one I'm excited about because it is a onesie from Style Arc. It is so cute. It has a zipper front, and then you can either have a hood on it, or you can do kind of like a just a Henley style finished around the neck. Very, very cute. Very, very easy. And then, of course, now some of y'all I don't talk about So Liberated often, and it's not because I don't like their patterns. Love So Liberated, period. Um, but I feel like I tend to forget about them, but not today. Okay. We've got the So Liberated Pinion pants, which are a nice wide leg trouser. They do have a zip front as well as a button fly, and they've got some patch pockets on them that are giving like a 3D feel. Very, very cute for this time of year, especially because the wide leg is very, very in right now. So think about making these in like a nice corduroy or a denim would be fire. You could even do it in like a suede, or if you're looking to make something that is a little bit dressier, you can do it in a heavy satin. Those are some really great options. Then Love Notions came out with the band camp shirt. It's definitely giving band camp. It's giving one time at band camp. You know what I'm saying? And it's a button up shirt. Did you guys know that there's a difference between button up and button down? I'm going to tell you the difference. Button downs actually have the little button on the collar that you actually have to button down. That's what makes a button down. Button up is everything else. So the button up Bandcamp shirt does feature a kind of like the wider collar. It's giving kind of like the tropical shirt from Wardrobe by Me or the generous shirt from Daughter Judy Patterns. Then we've got Tilly and the Buttons came out with the Ramona skirt. Very, very cute, coming out in two different lengths. It's a pencil skirt. It's not too, the ease is not so tight. It has a more of a straight finish versus it contouring to the body as it ends. And you can make that in a nice below the knee or mini skirt option. Looks like a very easy skirt to make. Then we've got um, now, I'm not gonna lie, I typically stick to clothing, but I just taught a class for this here bag, so we're gonna mention it. And that's the Friday Patterns garment bag. Very, very easy. So again, like I said, I taught a class that was on it, and my students loved it. When it was all said and done, I was like, this is a super cute bag, especially for travel. Like if you plan on having some upcoming weekend travel for the holidays, this is the perfect thing to go ahead and pack with it. You can easily store shoes, your hanging items, and then there's even a little zipper pouch for you to store jewelry or I don't know, bras panties. Then, of course, from Merchant and Mills, we've got the painter jacket. The painter jacket is giving like your traditional denim jacket, or not even your traditional denim jacket, but definitely your like utility jacket. So think like a Carhartt style jacket that can be worn. It's got lots of pockets. Definitely ready to be made in a firmer material. So thinking denim, thinking twill, thinking some of those harder bottom weight fabrics. Okay. Next up, we've got the Sweet Talker bubble sleeve top from Pattern Emporium. This is a very, very cute top, and it's got the bubble sleeve. The bubbles are very much so in, and if you're not ready to potentially show the sun, the moon, and the stars by wearing a bubble skirt, they could potentially show you a little bit of your bottom, like all the homecomings. But you know what? We're not doing that today, okay? But it's a very cute detail to that sleeve. The rest of it is just kind of a basic t-shirt with that bubble sleeve. Very, very cute. Then we've got the Brandy Balloon sleeve top by Ellie and Mac. Nothing special here. It's cute. It's just your basic top that has a curved hem and it's got a bishop sleeve. So cute. Basic. Then, of course, we've got the Rose Skirt designed by yours truly, and that's from Made for Mermaids. And this is a design that is done for children as well as adult sizing. This skirt features, of course, the short option, which you can be made by itself, but then it also comes with three really cute front skirt options. There is a curved option. There is an option that kind of drops a little bit low, and then there's just a basic front option. And the purpose behind that was to give trendy. These are perfect for kids if they are in uniforms, perfect for adults. This is a style that can go through the seasons. You all have seen me wear the corduroy version that I made, and fantastic. It does feature some darts. It's drafted for woven fabrics, not stretch woven, just your traditional woven. Yes, of course, you can make it with a stretch woven. If you do make it with a stretch woven, I do recommend sizing down one size. Then Style Arc, listen, Style Arc came out with some patterns, okay, y'all. They were like, I'm not here for the games. They came out with some patterns. They've got the Reeve culottes, which is giving a nice blowy situation. It's a very easy to make pattern, and based upon the style, it can absolutely be made in both knit as well as woven fabrics because of the amount of ease that is in it. Okay. Because of the waistband, you will definitely need some elastic for that. And it does also feature a drawstring. Okay. Now, Closet Core also dropped the Rika pants. The Rika pants are a straight leg jean trouser type of feel. Kind of basic. Nothing too crazy going on here. Um, Now, listen, I didn't want to talk about Mood Society's pattern drops because I mean, and there's definitely no shade to them at all, but they're freebie patterns. They're always dropping them. The Everything about them is questionable at best. But they did actually drop a loungewear set that I wanted to mention because tis the season for loungewear, right? I do like that this loungewear set can definitely be made into a cute holiday cord set. And it does include both a sweatshirt as well as some sweatpants. Also, just be mindful that the drafting for Mood it's a free pattern. So just keep that in mind with that, okay? Make sure that you're taking a look at those finished measurements to help guide what size that you choose, okay? The next pattern is a new to me designer. I've never heard of Elizabeth Suzanne before, but very excited to see that we have another plus size or size inclusive pattern designer. But she dropped the Andy Series digital sewing pattern, which is a pattern, it's a masculine, and I say that loosely, masculine taper trouser or wide leg palazzo pant. And it is drafted for woven fabric. So think about your lightweight wovens like a linen. I think you could probably also do it, and it come out very nicely in a sateen. It does have a, like I said, an elastic waistband, but it also does have a pleat. So adding a little bit more visual interest to that front area right there. And again, that's the Andy Trousers by Elizabeth Suzanne. Next up, we've got the Ladera dress by Itch to Stitch. It is an A-line dress that features a button down as well as a tie in the front. Cute. Love that. Now, I love a little interesting top here. So we've got the Kenya top from Fiber Mood, and I'm hesitant to add this to the list because the hips only go out to 57 inches, but the bust does go out to 57.5 inches, and the waist does go out to 52.5 inches as well. And because it's a top, I do feel like that is fairly size inclusive for that top area, but also I really just love what Fiber Mood has done with this like interesting feature over here by the shoulder. Very, very cool. Really enjoy that. They did come out with a couple of other patterns, but again, because that hip area is not the most size inclusive, I'm not going to go ahead and include them. So, moving on to the next top that they did release, because again, the tops are size inclusive. We've got the Albina top, which is just kind of like an oversized boxy top. If you're looking for a more size inclusive version, this is very similar to the Jessie top from True Bias. Um, Keeping it moving. So speaking of True Bias, the next pattern is the Bryn cardigan in dress that's by True Bias. It is a button up like cardigan or dress. It's giving perfect for sweater weather because it is in fact a sweater dress. I love it. It's really cute. I would have bought it, but I already own a very similar pattern that's by Patterns for Pirates, the all buttoned up dress. Very, very similar. So I didn't feel pressed to purchase it. So those were all of September's releases. Let's get into October's releases. Jaylee dropped the Roxanne cargo shorts and sweatpants, and that goes up to a 66-inch hip. One time for you, Jaylee. We love an inclusive baddie. And it's cute. It's a wide leg pant, and you can have the option of adding, of course, a cargo pocket if that's your jam. I am not, I don't I don't dislike cargo pants, but I don't love the way that they make my legs look, so I always tend to steer clear of the cargo pant. Um, Jaylee also released the Soline lounge robe. It's giving a lounge robe, and it comes in both kids as well as adults. Then we also have the Sam Classic Fleece Jacket because, baby, it's getting cold outside. So if you're looking for what to do with all of that fleece that Joann sells, make a couple of these jackets. Help Joann's get rid of that stock, okay? Then we've got the Elsa sleeveless top and dress. Okay, giving us Let It Go. It's a sleeveless top and dress, and it's giving the cold doesn't bother me anyway, okay? Then we've got the Joni dress and t-shirt. And I love how they have the Joni made out of a sequin material, because I definitely saw a girlfriend of mine go to, I think it was a Taylor Swift concert. Maybe it was one of her last ones. And she had made essentially like a sequin shift dress, and this is kind of what you can do because it is definitely giving a t-shirt style shift dress. Love it. All right, let's get back into Seamwork. Seamwork gave us the indigo coat, which is kind of like a swing style button up coat. Very, very simple. If you're getting into coat making, this looks like it's an easy enough silhouette to go ahead and jump in there and try. And as you know, Seamwork drops 2 patterns in a month. The second pattern is the Greer dress, which I actually talked about in the new pattern November, because that was one of the dresses that I actually wanted to go ahead and make for new pattern November. I did not make it last week. I will still be making it because it is a very nice silhouette. For the members only, they actually dropped the hack, which is to cutting off the top and giving us just kind of like this mermaid style skirt, which is really, really cute. Now, LB Textiles also dropped the Gibbons slip dress, which, not gonna lie, I think I might have to get. I like LB Textiles. I love their aesthetic. I tested the Resner skirt for them and it was fantastic. I'm sad because I can't find that pattern anymore. But they've got the Gibbons slip dress, which is really great. It's going to be cut on the bias, so just make sure that you are aware of that. This goes up to a 60-inch hip and a 58.5-inch bust and a 50-inch waist, which we love that for us. Next up, we've got another Closet Core club release, and that's the Basalt t-shirt. Or not, I'm sorry, not t-shirt, but button-up shirt. It's got a kind of a wide hem, and I've got the picture up, and an interesting sleeve. Do I feel like I'm missing out? I don't. It's cute, but I'm sorry, I had to check on the puppy. Then we've got Cashmerette has another club release as well. Now, this one is really cute. It's the Swanton blouse, and it's giving like the secretary blouse with the pussy bow. So, love that. Just in time for the holiday season, Tilling and the Buttons dropped the Christmas stocking pattern. It's a cute pattern. I do feel like it should be a freebie. I don't know if it is, but it is just your basic stocking pattern. Love that for us. Then we've got the Nicole top and dress by BF Patterns. If you're like, who's BF? It is Blackbird Fabrics Patterns. This is also a pattern that I really want to make as a nice, just basic dress that you can do as a sleeveless shirt, a sleeveless top or a sleeve top. And it is perfect to have in your wardrobe. This is perfect to do like a little black dress out of that you just need to have in your closet. It's has a very classic silhouette is what I will say. Style Art came out with the Delphine jacket. The Delphine jacket it's just a basic, like, in my opinion, it's kind of giving a more of a throwback vintage feel because of how the collar is done for two of the different views. But I like it. It's drafted, of course, for some woven fabrics. I think it's a great standard. It's not my particular style, though. Then Ally and Mac dropped their Connie Casual Shacket, just a basic shacket jacket. I love a shacket, to be completely honest. I use the Patterns for Pirates shacket myself, but and I do actually feel like this is like a standard pattern that most pattern companies should have. Why? Because shackets are fantastic. Okay. Speaking of Patterns for Pirates, they came out with the Funzy onesie, which is a like a onesie pajama pattern. Perfect, just in time for the holiday season. Again, a really great pattern for all of that for all of the fleece that Joanne says out there. Fantastic pattern for that. Now you might overheat in all that fleece, but if you keep your house on like 65 in the winter, shout out to you and your light bill or your gas bill being pretty low, then this is probably fantastic for you to do. Um, and also like I do really love that option to kind of, you know, have those warm and cozies. I actually have a brand partnership with um Yitty and Fabletics that I'm about to share a onesie that I wear. I didn't make it obviously, but we love a good onesie. I like being comfortable, and that obviously fits in with that level of comfort. Next up, we've got the Joffrey pants. Yes, Joffrey is in the name of the Joffrey, the giant giraffe, as in from Toys R Us. Anyway, I digress. So we've got the Joffrey pants that are from Style Art. The Joffrey pants are kind of like a sweatpant. You do need something that is thicker, and I want to say it's kind of like an upscale sweatpant because it's giving chic. It's giving upscale loungewear. It's giving not your basic sweatpants, but it's definitely a knit pant pattern. So, um, the French Terries are calling you. That's all I can say. Then Love Notions came out with their Barrington boxy tee. Barrington is such like a posh name for a boxy tee, but I am loving the boxy tee silhouette. So you know what? We celebrate that. Seriously, we do. Because the boxy tee has been giving me everything that I need. A good boxy tee that is like in that crop silhouette. Yes, please. Yes. Um, so we have that one. Now we also have the Ray Pinafore by Paper Theory. Sorry, we've got a puppy who's trying to make their way up. Hello, sir. This is, in case you have missed it, we got a new puppy. This is Bear, who is teething. So we're gonna put Bear back down because I don't desire to have him biting my fingers. But Bear has also been eating random things that are found on the floor. Anyway, we've got the Paper Theory Ray Pinafore. Now, I have to be honest, I don't typically actually really like pinafores, but this one looks really cool. And I don't know if it's because they use like this really nice denim that looks super cool in some of their photos, but this pinafore is kind of nice. I like it a lot. Um, and yeah, it's a really cool looking pinafore. Will I make it? I doubt it because again, not really my style, but you know what? I really like how it looks. And if you are a pinafore person, then I highly recommend that Ray pinafore. It does have a side slit that kind of comes up to like a mid thigh. I like a little mid thigh. It's got huge pockets, enough for snack time and more. So yeah, it's a pretty cool looking pinafore. Then, of course, we've got the Sinclair Patterns Delia Cowl Neck Ruched Top. It's got a lot going on, y'all. I'm not going to lie. In this front area, it's giving cowl and ruching. So you're ruching the top part or the front panel part. It's a lot. Either way. Might be for you. Might not be for you. But also speaking of pinafores, we also have the Lorna pinafore that is from So Over It. And this features a V-neck cut, which I like. I like that. Now, this pinafore I might actually wear if I could make it into a mini length, just because sometimes I have to be careful about where these things hit me because I don't want it to add like, I don't want to look frumpy. You know what I mean? So if I'm doing a conservative silhouette like a pinafore, I've got to make it somewhat not conservative just to match my style. Now, if you are a more modest dresser, you will probably love this cut. I think it's beautiful. Next up, we've got the Closet Core Phoebe coat because, of course, it's coat season. We love that for us. It is your traditional pea coat. Then we've got from Muna and Broad, we've got the Campsey top, which is a knit, like, it's not quite a knit t-shirt, but it is definitely giving that kind of t-shirt feel. It's very loose. Shout out to, of course, Muna and Broad because their bust goes up to a 66-inch bust and a 71.5-inch hip. We love to see that inclusivity. And of course, my favorite like skirt is from Muna and Broad as well. Okay, so we were talking about, just kind of how these these collars are in. Well, Merchant and Mills took it to a step further and they created a pattern for just a detachable collar. Very, very cute. I like it because like we see that these t-shirts are really kind of big, these boxy t-shirts. So if you want to add just another element of design or element of style to your actual like daily look, making a detachable collar is a fun way to do that without having the commitment to have that same look all day. So love that from Merchant and Mills. Also new out is this Sauna puffer vest. It's from Named Patterns. And now Named Patterns is actually typically not the most size inclusive pattern company. They do go up to a 56-inch hip and a 53-inch bust, which is the reason why I did include that top. So it is a puffer vest, which is very, very cute. We will not be able to include the rest of Named Patterns drops simply because it does not include the hip. So next up, we've got the Easy Does It skirt from Pattern Emporium. Pattern Emporium, they actually make one of my favorite cocoon sweater patterns, and I love it so much. But this Easy Does It skirt is just kind of like a basic just basic skirt, basic A-line skirt, and it comes in a couple of different lengths. It's got your ankle or your maxi length skirt, your midi, knee length, or mini skirt options, and it's designed for light to medium weight woven fabrics. So think you're like a chambray, perfect for both fall as well as winter, but also chambray is really great for spring, summer months. So that's giving a nice, really versatile feel. So your linen blend, seersucker, a little silk. I'm not gonna lie, I might end up making this. Might end up making this. Very brief side note. Yes, I know I got my puppy kind of early. I did not intend on him coming home till he was 8 weeks, but y'all, this like super young puppy life is basically like raising a newborn, and it's a lot. It's a lot. Okay. Anyway, my digression is over. Next up, we've got the On Deck Popover by Matchy Matchy Sewing Club. When I saw the sneak peek for this, I got excited. Why? Because I have been saving denim. I've been saving not like denim cuts of fabric, but I've literally been saving old jeans that I just don't want anymore because I wanted to upcycle them into kind of like a pullover. And I feel like this would be perfect for it because it's drafted for woven fabrics. And even though I do kind of feel like just doing it in a denim might be a lot just for my skin because I don't know. Like, granted, jeans are worn on my skin, on my lower body, but my upper body be like, girl, we have standards and we would like we want to be covered in something that is soft. So I could even line this. So I'm a little excited about that. But yeah, the on deck popover, could not wait for that to come out. So very, very excited to see that. Um, Let's see. We've got the penny apron from Style Arc. So, a basic crossback apron pattern. I love that. I don't know why we're still releasing apron patterns. I feel like at this juncture we've seen them all, but whatever. Then Cashmere released the Fisk sleepwear set, and it does have pants. It's got a button-up nightshirt or I'm sorry, I got lost in the sauce. But it has like pants, it's got shorts, it's got a camisole, it's got a nightgown, a button-up shirt that can either be worn with the pants or the shorts, or you can turn it into a night shirt, and then it also has a robe. And you guys, is it giving something that we haven't seen before? It's not. So I don't want to make it seem like it's doing something that is so awesome, but I love a coordinated set and I love it when they already put it together for me because why do I have to buy all of these different patterns to get like a little set to go to bed in? Even though I don't really sleep in clothes to go to bed, but I digress. The holidays are coming up, which means that typically we have more house company. So yeah, I got to put on pajamas. Next up, we've got from Grain Line Studio, the Poppy Dress. The Poppy Dress is giving us a half button dress with multiple tiers. So lots of drama, lots of fabric. Like if you need something that is going to be a fabric hog, this is going to be a really great option for you. Okay. And then we also have, and this was something that Chelsea was really excited about, the return of the Thompson coat from Daughter Judy. And this is a quilted version of the original Thompson jacket or Thompson coat. Sorry, looking at the puppy. And it's a very nice cut. Very great. I love it. But also, I'm a big fan of Daughter Judy patterns, honestly. So I don't want to say something like, oh, they can do no wrong. But also, like, I really do enjoy Daughter Judy patterns. We also have the Penelope pleated blouse from Ellie and Mac. Um, I do love a pleated top, obviously, because I made one of the other patterns that I'm going to mention on here, obviously. But anyway, so yeah, that's how we feel about that. Okay. So let's see. I know I said I wasn't going to mention too many of these Mood Society patterns, but I do really do like this Margot body contrast. It's giving just a very simple silhouette. It does have a square neck, and this is actually one of my favorite patterns that they've dropped. Very, very simple. Very, very like basic body contrast. But I love a body contrast. Like people ask me all the time, "Hey, what's your favorite thing to make?" A simple body contrast, babe. Keep it simple, right? Okay. So now Itch to Stitch also released this I am probably going to mispronounce it, but this Tiffy cardigan that's not really giving cardigan. It's giving jacket for sure. Um, and it's giving that it needs because it's got to be made out of a knit fabric, which is why I think that they called it cardigan, but it's definitely not giving cardigan. It's definitely giving a double knit jacket. Okay. Next up, we've got the Raya pants and shorts from Chalk and Notch. These are like a drawstring trouser. So they are drafted for, of course, a woven fabric. Now, if you are not careful, you're going to look like you're wearing scrubs. So you do have to be very intentional about the fabric choice that you make for those. Okay. Next up for the October, I'm sorry, we are now officially in, before we officially get into November releases, I do want to shout out two additional September drops. The first being the Joplin dress from new pattern designer Tiana Herring. And this was a pattern that was like drafted after she saw this dress that was not size inclusive. And I know it can be, there's a debate currently happening about whether or not designing dupes is like an ethical practice. But here's what I have to say about that. If fashion designers don't design for plus size bodies and are not size inclusive, they don't have a space to say whether or not a pattern designer has the right to go ahead and design something similar, right? Not the same, because even though there are no laws that can protect against specific designs, you do have to have at least a 10% difference in the pattern that you design off of a dupe. So I do feel like if you are leaving out an entire demographic, don't be surprised when that demographic designs their own shit and wants to sell it. So that's what I have to say about that. Be size inclusive. Stop leaving bodies out. So I have that to say about that. So shout out to Tiana, who is a new designer. Love what she's doing with her stuff. And again, also we've got the Panini pleated shirt, which of course we're going to put a picture of me up in because I made that pattern. I'm sorry, my little bully is over here tearing up my office. But I loved making this shirt. It is a shirt where I will say, because you actually sew each of those individual pleats, turn on an audiobook, get into a good mindset, because that's a lot of sewing of straight lines. Okay. But it's not particularly hard. The hardest part, and I say hardest part loosely, the hardest part was in figuring out the invisible button placket. Outside of that, it came together so easily, so beautifully. I do think I'm going to make a long sleeve version, and I do think that I'm going to do it. I might hack it into those sleeves looking a little different. So that wraps up our September releases. So let's go ahead and continue on with our November drops. We have the Noah trousers from Seamwork. This is a high quality trouser. The shape of the trouser reminds me a little bit of the True Bias Lander pant, but with a zip button and zipper fly. The Lander pant by True Bias has a button fly, Very, very cute. But what I mean by the shape is that it's giving fitted in the waist and the hip area, and then it begins to slowly straighten out, giving almost a boot cut feel. So we've got that. We've got the pepper sweater that was also released from Seamwork, and the pepper sweater is it's got a kind of like a turtleneck, like a not too tight of a turtleneck, a very loose cowl neck feel, and it's just a kind of boxy sweater. Very easy breezy. Next up, we also have from Closet Core. These next two patterns are club patterns. The first one being the quartz dress for Closet Core. Not impressed, honestly. It's a basic shift dress that's designed for woven fabrics. We also have the Newcomb Coat by Cashmerette, again, also for the club patterns. And it's a basic button up coat, not particularly hard. It does have flap pockets, which look very, very cute. But there's nothing that is super special about that. Honestly, there's nothing that is like, ooh, must make. That's not going to be a pattern that makes me feel like, oh my God, I've got to definitely join the club. We've got also the Mimosa Lantern Dress by Sinclair Patterns. The reason why, of course, it's called the lantern dress is because of the shape of the pattern. And it's definitely giving that cocoon, that lantern shape. It's a shape of a dress that I've seen a couple of times. I feel like George and Ginger Patterns came out with something similar to it. Very modest. And I love this for our modest dressers. And then Tilly and the Buttons came out with the Drew sweatshirt. The Drew sweatshirt does have a couple of fun features to it. It's a basic sweatshirt, but there are some color blocking options that you can either actually choose different fabrics or just simply use those lines to add some visual interest to the pattern itself. Now again, don't like to mention too many of these mood patterns, but I also like this one. This is the Fiera maxi skirt, and it is a maxi skirt that is drafted for lightweight wovens, and it's just an A-line maxi skirt. That's it. Like, so think about like, not the overly dramatic skirts, but like something that has a lot of drape and so that moves a lot when you walk. That is what this skirt is. You don't really need too much outside of just a zipper. It's pretty easy. Then from Waves and Wild, they're giving us an advent calendar. Okay, we do have enough time for you all to make this advent calendar if that is something that you want to incorporate into your holiday celebrations. We do advent calendars here. I actually did a tutorial for an advent calendar on my website, needleandthebell.com, but this is giving you pattern pieces and everything like that. Love that. And then Style Arc is giving us the Kira top. Now, this style was very, very big. I want to say in like 2016, 2015. I had 2 kids at the time, and I made a sweater that was very similar to this, but it was very popular. It features like this crisscross in the front, super cute. And then Itch to Stitch is giving us the Rosetto robe, which is just your basic robe. Like, this is giving, I'm snuggling up at home and there. And, excuse me. And that's it. Okay. So, those are the releases that we've had from September until the beginning or the first week of November. And I'm pretty excited. There are some high quality things that I see that need to be made by me. So yeah, I'm really, really excited about this. Obviously this release, I'm sorry, hold on. Let me grab this puppy. The little bully is getting into trouble, so now he's joining me for the conclusion of our video. So there were quite a few tops as well as trousers and things like that, as well as skirts that I definitely need to be making. And I hope that you saw some things that need to be added to your fall and winter wardrobe as well. I love the way that indie patterns really make sewing so much more accessible for us, especially after that abysmal drop that I did earlier with the tissue patterns. So we'll just leave it at that. One of the things that I would like to see, though, is doing some more. I saw a lot of basics. I saw a lot of basic silhouettes, and I'd like to see something a little bit more, not too out there, but a little bit more funky. I know that I've got a couple of friends who are currently working on some patterns. So we'll have to do another upcoming pattern release, probably more towards the end of the year, maybe the beginning of next year. But because we've got some fire coming, sir, relax. Okay. But yeah, and that is it for this video. So if you saw something here that you would like to make, definitely drop a comment. I'm really interested to see what sorts of things are standing out to you all. So with that, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share this with someone who you feel like needs to see the most recent drops for the fall winter 2024-2025 season with indie patterns. With that, happy sewing.